The Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto, has successfully managed to convince Moses Kuria to withdraw his candidate for the Kiambaa parliamentary by-election. And you all know that from Moses Kuria's own statement, it is clear that he has actually been forced to withdraw his candidate. What does that move mean politically speaking in this country? In this video today, I want us to look at why the Deputy President forced Moses Kuria to withdraw his candidate. Because remember last week, I opined on this platform that the Deputy President was piling on pressure on Moses Kuria to withdraw his candidate. But Moses Kuria refused by that time. And yesterday, the Deputy President then decided to engage the candidate directly. And by noon yesterday, it was clear that the People's Empowerment Party was not going to sponsor a candidate in Kiambaa. So Moses Kuria had no option than to announce to the entire country, the way he has done in the morning, that he's not going to sponsor a candidate. But what does that move mean politically speaking in this country? It means three things. The first thing is that the Deputy President is finally ready to confront President Uhuru Kenyatta in his own backyard. If there is one thing which the DP has always avoided, is direct confrontation with the president. And he has chosen Kiambaa. Kiambaa is so dear to President Uhuru Kenyatta. Mbiu Koinange, the first member of parliament for Kiambaa, was his father's close friends. In fact, if you look at Kiambaa in general, it has been ruled by very few families. I think there was Mbiu Koinange, then there was Jenga Karume, then at some point there was another guy there, and then came Paul Koinange. And for the purposes of this election, the president decided to go for the best candidate, Kariri Njama. This is the guy who actually won in the last election, but because of the ties between the Koinanges and Kenyattas, he was denied the certificate. And this particular by-election in Kiambaa is going to provide President Uhuru Kenyatta with the last chance to redeem himself. And the Deputy President is telling him, that chance you are not going to get it. You are not going to get it because Moses Kuria embarrassed you in Juja. I'm also waiting to humiliate you in Kiambaa. Remember, Kiambaa is also significant for William Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta. The church in Kiambaa in Eldoret is actually associated with the Kiambaa constituency. So it's going to be important, politically speaking. Number two, it also confirms that William Ruto has a hand in People's Empowerment Party. Yesterday, I posed a question on Twitter, a very simple question. Who is funding Moses Kuria's political party? Most people answered that it was Gideon Moi. But from the latest move, it is clear that it is actually the DP who is funding that party. Otherwise, if he was not funding that party, then there is no way Moses Kuria would have easily agreed to withdraw his candidate. But it's also going to mark the end and the beginning of either Moses Kuria or William Samoei Ruto and his allies. A win for the United Democratic Alliance Party. If United Democratic Alliance Party is going to win in Kiambaa, that's going to mark the end of Moses Kuria. But assuming the Jubilee candidate is going to win in Kiambaa, it's going to mark the end of William Ruto in the larger Mount Kenya region. And it's also going to mark the rise of Moses Kuria in the larger Mount Kenya region, because it's going to be assumed that he delivered in Juja, and because he was not part of Kiambaa, that loss is not going to be attributed to him. In fact, it will be claimed that if Moses Kuria had been allowed to sponsor a candidate, probably that candidate would have won. And number three, it's also going to be a win for Rigathi Gachagua and this group. This is the group which has been trying so hard to push Moses Kuria and Mwangi Kiunjuri out of William Ruto's circles. When they held a meeting in Masai Mara last time, I remember opining that Moses Kuria and Mwangi Kiunjuri were actually locked out because they were perceived to be outsiders. They were perceived not to be members of the United Democratic Alliance Party. Let us go back and understand Moses Kuria's letter. Moses Kuria's statement, which he just issued in the morning, because that statement has a lot of information. Before we go into why I strongly believe Ruto forced Moses Kuria to withdraw his candidate. Let me just get Moses Kuria's Facebook page where he posted the statement. Moses Kuria's statement is a bit long for the first time. Normally, this is not normally him. Moses Kuria is saying, the People's Empowerment Party is a member and a stakeholder in the Hustler Nation alongside Johnson Muthama-led UDA, Mwangi Kiunjuri-led TSP, and Umigo Magara-led PDP. You see, what Moses Kuria is trying to say is that his party is basically for the locals, for the Kikuyus. That's why he's talking of UDA being led by Johnson Muthama. Johnson Muthama is a Kamba. So basically, Moses Kuria is trying to tell his people that these guys are coming with a foreign party to our region. And it's continuing. We offer a platform for political participation and mentorship in leadership for a new crop of leaders and professionals whom we believe will drive this country forward, safeguarding our nationhood and make our people feel safe and secure, confident of our future and that of our children. You understand, Moses Kuria is proceeding, whereas PEP is driven by our ordinary men and women, mostly the youths. Our sister party, UDA, is largely driven by my colleagues, the incumbent MPs, whom I respect a lot. Both complement each other. PEP message of hope and renewal has been endorsed by the voters of Gaturi ward in Murang'a, which was also another important by-election. We wanted to present this message of approval by the people of Kiambaa constituency on 15th. His proceeding, however, this did not go down very well with my colleagues, particularly Rigathi Gachagua and Kimani Ichung'wah. So basically, Moses Kuria is telling us that his move to withdraw his candidate was as a result of Rigathi Gachagua and Kimani Ichung'wah. Kimani Ichung'wah and Rigathi Gachagua plays a key role in William Ruto's party, the UDA. And these are the guys who's been fighting Moses Kuria for a very long time. So Moses Kuria is now smoking them out and single them specifically. Remember, during that press conference, after Moses Kuria won in Georgia, Kimani Ichung'wah and Rigathi Gachagua took that candidate to William Ruto. Moses Kuria was not even there. And I remember pointing it out. And when they were unveiling the Hustler Nation candidate, the UDA candidate, Rigathi Gachagua was very clear that the Hustler Nation will only have one candidate. The candidate who will be running on the United Democratic Alliance Party. Why was he saying that? And this is what Moses Kuria is trying to allude to here. He's saying, yesterday I held extensive discussion with my boss and friend, His Excellency William Ruto, on this matter. To make my two colleagues happy, and above all for the unity of the Hustler Nation, PEP will not be fielding a candidate for the Kiambaa by-election. So basically this withdrawal, according to Moses Kuria, is just to make Kimani Ichung'wah and Rigathi Gachagua happy. I mean, which kind of politics is that? The truth of the matter is that he has been forced to withdraw this candidate, and is continuing. Where I come from, they say utatega dakora. I don't know that. Maybe someone can interpret that. I take this opportunity to offer my profuse apologies to Honorable Raymond Kuria, the people of Kiambaa, and all PEP members who undoubtedly will be disappointed with this decision. The good news is we will focus on nationwide tour to meet candidates who will be vying for various seats in next year's general election on PEP. God bless PEP. God bless the Hustler Nation. God bless Kenya. So basically, Moses Kuria will not be participating in this by-election. He's going to make himself busy with the national politics. He's going to start recruiting members, meeting with the new recruits, people who will be vying on that particular ticket. So Moses Kuria's political career basically is also going to depend on the outcome of the Kiambaa parliamentary election. If the United Democratic Alliance Party is going to win for any reason, let me assure you, the deputy president is going to dump Moses Kuria, or Moses Kuria is going to be forced to join the United Democratic Alliance Party. And I want to predict something. I don't want to rule out the possibility of Moses Kuria undermining the United Democratic Alliance Party. I don't want to rule out the possibility of Moses Kuria supporting the Jubilee candidate. Because if you look at it, the perception which is being created by Moses Kuria is that Rigathi Gachagua is the one who is bringing this candidate. And they are bringing this candidate with a political party from Ukambani. That's what Moses Kuria is trying to say through this particular statement. But why do you think the deputy president decided to appeal to Moses Kuria to withdraw his candidate? Number one, I think the deputy president, just like I said yesterday, wants to stamp his authority in the larger Mount Kenya region. And for him to do that, it means he must sponsor a candidate in his own political party. I know there's this issue that, oh, PEP is hustler nations. No. William Ruto has a political party, and that political party is called the United Democratic Alliance Party. A win for that party would be good news to the deputy president. Remember, the PEP candidate, according to the information I have received, was also very popular on the ground. And that's why Moses Kuria chose him. Initially, the hustler, the United Democratic Alliance Party, had wanted to sponsor Kariri Njama. But Kariri Njama was keen on a Jubilee ticket. That's the honest truth. And when it was clear Kariri Njama was not going to play balls, Moses Kuria had already taken Raymond Kuria. So the United Democratic Alliance Party had also to move so fast and get another candidate. And that's how they missed those two. And because the two candidates were very strong, the Kariri Njama and Raymond Kuria, they were very popular. It means either one of them was going to win. The deputy president didn't want a situation where he's going to be defeated in Kiambaa, his party. Because sponsoring two political parties would mean Ruto has his own political party there. Number two, I think he didn't want to split the votes. If you have three candidates, I'm sure Jubilee Party also learned from their mistakes in Kiambaa, in Juja. And they're going to try so hard to fix those particular mistakes. They are going to, President Uhuru Kenyatta, I'm sure personally, is going to take charge of this campaign. Any chance of another candidate, strong candidate in UDA, a strong candidate in PEP, would actually give victory to Jubilee Party. And this is what they don't want. Because I'm sure majority of the people who would have voted for the PEP candidate were the same people who would have still voted for the UDA. So he didn't want votes to split. And number three, I think the deputy president is also under a lot of pressure from his allies, the UDA allies from the larger Mount Kenya region. They are the majority. And they're telling the deputy president, you either go with Moses Kuria, who is a one-man army, or you go with us, who have always stood with you. So if you choose to go with Moses Kuria, then us, we are going to support the Jubilee candidate. So the deputy president took a pen and a paper, calculated the number of MPs he has, calculated the number of MCs, figured out how he has invested in most of these people. It was just good for him to sacrifice Moses Kuria at the expense of Rigathi Gachagua and Kimani Ichung'wah. Number four, I also think that it's about taming Moses Kuria. And this also brings us to the next question. Who is funding the People's Empowerment Party activities across the country? Is it the deputy president? Is it Gideon Moi? With the time, we'll get to know who is actually funding the People's Empowerment Party. And lastly, is the Jubilee candidate. The Jubilee candidate, based on the comments I'm reading, must be very popular on the ground. And the people are saying that the only challenge he has is the party, but it's very strong. So which means there's a chance that people can actually go ahead and vote for him as an individual and not as a political party. And that's why in one of my videos, I advised the president that if he wants to succeed, there are certain faces he should not allow around his campaigns. And I'm already seeing James Nyoro campaigning for this candidate, which in my considered opinion is not right. David Murathe must shut his mouth. Rafael Tuju has already issued the certificate. His role should end there. The president should go ahead and identify people who can go and help this guy campaign. And I would advise him to go and look for Oimeke, how Oimeke conducted his ODM campaigns in Bonchari. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. But do you think Moses Kuria is going to support this UDA candidate being fronted by Rigathi Gachagua? Gachagua wants to be the running mate to the deputy president. And he has money. Moses Kuria wants to be the running mate. He doesn't have much money. Do you think Moses Kuria is going to allow Rigathi Gachagua to shine in his own county? Let me hear your thoughts on this matter. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.